What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Come on in. I'm doing a quick little video today. What's up, y'all? Come on in. I'm doing a quick little video, answering some questions and doing all that with EdTech. If you guys don't know who I am Derreka the Diva of Education, and I basically give out free game to those people who are trying to get into EdTech. So the following has been crazy lately, but the main thing I want to do is make sure I'm answering questions. So tonight I am briefly, like literally I'm going to be on here for like maybe 20 minutes talking about getting into EdTech and answering some of your questions to help you get a little bit more clarity about it, and then hopefully to help you get into EdTech. So any questions that you guys have, drop them in the chat below. And now I'm going to just be firing off and answering your questions. To give you a little background about me, I was in education for 15 years. I started as a teacher, moved up into an instructional coach, and then I became an assistant principal, and then I segued and pivoted into EdTech. I got into EdTech in 2 months and 1 day. That's how long it took me to transition, and I did it without any help. For the most part, I only had my resume rewritten. So I give game to those people who are trying to get a little insight and they want to know a little bit more about getting into the EdTech space. So any questions you have, make sure you drop them, because I'm going to be talking about nothing but getting into the EdTech space. So this week I have been making sure I'm creating like content so you guys can get something every single week, right? So one of my series that I'm posting is EdTech Word of the Week Wednesday. So every Wednesday I'm going to go over a word and give you information on that. So because the main thing about transitioning is you have to be able to speak the language. So you have to show that you understand the language and can transfer your skills over into whatever when you're interviewing or doing whatever the case may be. All right, so do we need any qualifications to get accepted into EdTech? I love this question. So if you are a teacher, counselor, assistant principal, hell, even a superintendent, you already have the skill set. A lot of people ask, do I need another, do I need another certification? Do I need to go back and get another degree? The answer is no. Your years alone is your work experience. So a lot of people think when they go into EdTech, they're going in there with 0 years of experience, and that is not true. So let's say you've been teaching for 10 years. You have 10 years of experience that you're going into EdTech with. That's not an entry role. That is a mid to senior level role. So you don't need any additional certifications or any additional degrees or anything like that. Your skill set as an educator is your extra degree or your certificate. So I hope that answers your question. So no, you don't need anything extra in order to get into EdTech. All you need is your years of experience and your skill set. So it depends on the area that you're trying to segue into. I break them down by 3 categories for the most part when you're trying to get into EdTech, and that's usually learning and development, right? So that's your like professional developers, your implementation specialists, anything dealing with curriculum is learning and development. Then you have customer success. Customer success has a little bit of sales, but it's not sales. So you're basically making sure that the product that is bought, the organization, the school, whatever, they like it enough, they understand it enough, so they can keep it. So you're keeping that program. So like a lot of people use IXL, things of that nature. You're making sure the relationship is there so they keep it and want it for the next year. That's a little bit of customer success. The next one is EdTech sales. So if you're somebody, you're into sales, you like that type of stuff, that's me. I love sales. I've done sales in other aspects of my life. So sales is my thing, right? If you're into that, you can literally go into EdTech sales, have a base salary, and then you make your OTEs, which is your on-target earnings. So you can make 90,000 is your base salary, but you can walk away with 150,000 OTEs for the year if you hit your targets, right? So yeah, this is a beautiful place to be. So I think it's amazing, the skills that we have as educators. Literally, we don't realize that everything that you do is literally one job for some companies. We're doing 10 at a time, right? So just imagine if you were paid for each thing. Getting into EdTech gives you that option to be compensated for the knowledge that you have, because these companies need your skill set. They need your expertise, because I know y'all don't think it, but as an educator, as educational leader, you have an expertise that people will pay top dollar for. Right? So, hey y'all, hey, come on in. I'm so excited to start building a community where we all can literally help one another. That is the purpose of this page. So you feel like family when you come in, and you know that whatever questions you have, they're going to get answered. I make sure that I intentionally do that all the time with you guys. So, you know, I haven't been going to the gym because like my schedule has been crazy, but I'm getting back to it. I've still been in the gym, but not that gym. Shout out to Extreme Fitness. That is an amazing gym in Houston. Rodney is the owner. Amazing guy. He gonna get that body right every single time. Now, you're gonna work for it, but he gonna get that body right. And thank you so much. I appreciate it. Any other questions, make sure you drop them below. So the main thing I want to make sure you guys know and encourage you all is, I know that it seems hard. You hear all these horror stories about people talking about they can't break into EdTech, they can't break into EdTech, and some people won't. Because you have to be really focused. You have to have a strategic plan, which is what I'm going to eventually help people with, because I literally had to figure out my own plan. I didn't have the luxury of having anybody help me. I just figured it out and I cracked the code, right? So make sure that, you know, you guys are putting in the work. Every single day for those 2 months in a day, I was literally like on it. I was not playing any games. I was on it. And I got a lot of no's. I got a lot of rejections before I got some yeses. And y'all got to realize that's what's going to come with it. Some of y'all are quitting when you have 2 rejection letters. I had about 20. I didn't care. I knew that I was not going back into the educational space. I knew that. Like, I was done. But I also knew that I had the skill set, and I spoke it into existence. I prayed about it. And I did not quit until I figured it out. And that's why I'm here, to make sure you guys know you can too. Sometimes we need a little bit of encouragement, but sometimes we just need the information to know what we want to do, right? So we need to, yes. Oh, you're coming to Houston? Come on down, listen. And that's the thing about EdTech too, y'all. You don't have to be in a certain area. Most of the stuff is remote. My job is remote. So you can be anywhere, right? I hope so. I plan to do like a meet and greet for those people trying to get into EdTech this summer, so we can all like legit get together. I saw Stacey Friday. Yes. Yeah, I heard Stacey transition too. I think she transitioned a few years ago, prior to me doing this. So yeah, it's a space for you to get, it's a space for y'all to get out. It is a space for you to get out. I'll say it again. It is a space for you to get out. And there's room. These tech companies are growing like crazy. Think about the tech that you use every day on your campus. Like, somebody sold that. Somebody is facilitating that. Somebody, you know, has a salary with that company, and it could be you. So one thing I'm going to do, I'm never going to charge you for any of this information that I give. Anything that I find out, I'm always going to give you. But you have to make sure you are sharing this with educators so they can come into the community. Share, like, comment, engage with me, so I can make sure that I'm creating content that you not only just like want, like, that you need. You know, I want to give you everything that you need, everything that I didn't have. That's my goal. So any questions that you have, make sure you drop them below, because I am on fire and I'm answering them tonight. Tonight we're talking about getting everything that I didn't have. That's my goal. So any questions that you have, make sure you drop them below, because I am on fire and I'm answering them tonight. Tonight we're talking about getting into EdTech. So we're not talking about, like, you know, the strategic plan. We're just talking about getting into it. So if you have any entry level questions, let me know. I think the hardest part is that resume. Those filters are picky. Yeah. So getting into EdTech, I think the one thing that I would advise, like, I get it now because I studied the resume game so long, and I had somebody actually redo my resume. That's the one thing I would definitely say that you need to invest in early, your resume. Because a teacher resume, educator resume, it's not going to cut it. Our resumes are very cute. They're very, pretty and all that type of stuff. But corporate cares nothing about that. It's all about a certain structure, and they want you to, it has to look a certain way, and you have to make sure it's quick to read, easy to read, and it's easy for somebody that is a recruiter to be able to quickly, get to the information. They don't have time to look at your resume for more than, I think the average time is 6 seconds. Literally, that's how quickly somebody scans your resume. And there are for more than, I think the average time is 6 seconds. Literally, that's how quickly somebody scans your resume. And there are a lot of people now that are finding out about EdTech, and they're actually applying. So you have to make sure that your resume is on point. So I would definitely suggest that you do that. You get your you invest in yourself. That's what I always say. You invest in yourself, and you get your resume looked at. Hey. Okay, so here's a question. Do you have a list of jobs to apply for? I'm located in South Carolina. So I actually made a video about that, and I think I did part 1 and part 2 because y'all said y'all couldn't see part 1. I gave 4 job boards to actually apply for. So if you go back and look at those videos, you'll see it gives you literally the URL, and you're able to see it. But just to be quick, it's EdSkip, EdSurge, edtech.com, and then it's a new one that I found that I like. It's Josh's K through 12 job blast board. But if you go and look at for one of my former videos, you'll see it. And I literally have it to where you can see the URL, so you don't have to go and guess for anything. But those 4 are really, really good. Yeah. I see one of my former students on here. What's going on? So that proves to y'all that I really was in education. What's up? I use DeepSeek to recreate my resume. What structure would you recommend? I might drop a picture of the structure that I had, that someone rewrote. I can't talk to that. Rewrote my resume with, so you guys can understand the template. It just has to be ATS certified. So ATS is the system that AI runs your resume through. Right? It runs your resume through, and it has to pass with a certain percentage, and then your application potentially moves on to the next step. But when I do another live, I'm going to tell y'all how you bypass all that. We're not relying just on the ATS system, because if you're doing that, you'll be waiting forever. Like I said, you have to have a strategic plan. Who did I go through? I went through 2 different people. One, I got my resume done. And then I went through another person. I'll make a video about that where I drop their information. I'll drop their information, but I'm also teaming up right now with some dope resume writers, so I can have all of that in-house for y'all. So I'm not going to charge for it, but of course they will. There's a fee for it, but I want to have everything you need right there. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, so resumes are really important. I'm not even going to lie. You need to have that on point. You also need Resumes are really important. I'm not even going to lie. You need to have that on point. You also need to just make sure that your LinkedIn is definitely. Resumes are really important. I'm not even going to lie. You need to have that on point. You also need to just make sure that your LinkedIn is definitely cleaned up and polished. Post I think 2 months out, so you can have all these great topics where you're showing your skill set, right? You're talking about the power of, I'm just going to throw a random title out there, the power of mathematics, being a mathematics teacher, and data, and how you being in the classroom has allowed you to be able to have a skill set in breaking down data. That can be a post, right? And you keep posting, just like on here. And then slowly people will start liking your post. It's going to go out to a larger area. And when those recruiters are looking at your profile, they can see what you're talking about. They see your credentials. They see the things you're interested in, and they'll start to reach out, or they'll verify you by looking at your profile, right? So it's not like with education, like you see a position, you apply for it, you talk to the principal once, and then they tell you if you got the job. It's different over here. It's not bad. It's not worse. It's just different, right? So making that transition, you just need to understand that things are different, but they're so much better. They are so much better, okay? If you asked me to go back, I would not. I would never go back. And I mean that. I pray God never puts me in that situation, but I would never go back to K through 12. Never. I'm done. I love it too much over here. So we're talking about getting into EdTech. If you guys don't know what EdTech is, I should have went over that earlier. If you don't know what EdTech is educational technology. So I want you to think about all the programs that you use on your school, either if that's an e-school, that could be an Apex. That can also be like Aries if you use that for like I'm talking about admins now. If you're talking about where you put your referrals and things of that nature, IXL, Edmentum, all those things are ed tech. Those are things that you integrate into schools and it helps you in some capacity, either with students and their scholastic needs, or if it's with you and your administrative needs or your teacher needs. All that is ed tech. And the beauty about ed tech, it is not going anywhere. AI is here. All these things, all these new companies are popping up. EdTech is not going anywhere because we need technology in education, right? So it is a secure field. It is good. And I know that once you get in it and you are able to like really show your skill set, you'll be a rock star in it, just like you were in education. So again, I'm answering any questions that are dealing with getting into the EdTech space. If you have them, drop them below. And if you're looking to get into EdTech, make sure you drop a little laptop icon so I know that I have my people here that are looking to transition. I am Derreka the Diva of Education. Like I said before, been in education for 15 years before I made the pivot. My final seat that I sat in was as an assistant principal. And like I said, I knew that it was time to get out of there. One thing I want my story to show people is that you can do it. Sometimes we get on this journey and we think that our skills aren't enough. When your skills are more than enough, we just self-sabotage sometimes. So every day I'm going to make sure that I show enough. When your skills are more than enough, we just self-sabotage sometimes. So every day I'm going to make sure that I show you guys the reality of getting into EdTech, showing you that you can. Now, I did have an administrative background. I had leadership experience, so my journey was, but in the classroom, if you're a teacher, you lead too. You are a project manager of your classroom. The thing we have to learn to be able to do is you need to know how to be able to articulate yourself and showcase through your writing that these skills are transferable. Clock that. Okay. So any other questions that you guys have, please drop them below because I'm going to stay on for maybe like about, okay. So any other questions that you guys have, please drop them below because I'm going to stay on for maybe like about 5 more minutes, answer some questions. And then, like I said, I'll come back on here sometime during the week and we'll another section of EdTech and trying to get into EdTech. I have a lot of new followers that are starting to find me, and I'm excited about that. I'm happy that you guys are finding the comical relief that we have in these TikToks and things of that nature. But also, I'm dropping a lot of information in there too. I'm not going to make you, I'm not going to force you to do anything, but I will give you the resources and the tools. I can take you to the water, but I cannot make you drink, and I won't because we are grown. But I will definitely supply you with anything that you need so you guys can be successful. The way I'm going to be successful and continue to do it is all you have to do is just like, share, comment, and support what I'm doing so I can continue to make you have more content in bigger and better ways. So for everybody that's sending anything right now, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Anybody that's supporting the page, y'all are the GOAT. Don't forget about on Wednesdays, I am dropping a video every Wednesday on my Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok to where it is EdTech Word of the Week Wednesday. So again, like I was talking about earlier, you can have all the skills in the world, but if you don't speak the language of corporate, of EdTech when you're trying to transition, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to go over vocabulary that you need to know what these things are. So when you do land your interview, because I'm speaking that over your life, interview desk, when you do land your interview, you can speak about it because you know what it is and you can be more confident. And we all know when you are confident in what you're doing, we shine, right? Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna write that down. So EdTech Word of the Week Wednesdays. Make sure y'all tune in for that. I already have one video on my page where I went over my first vocabulary word because we are in class. And then the podcast that I have will be dropping in June. Yes, your girl is moving on up. And just so many other things that I'm trying to bring you guys. Again, all of these things are free 99. All I need you to do is support. And by supporting, that is making sure we have our EdTech gang. I think that's what I'm gonna call y'all. My EdTech gang. Have them come over to this channel so they can get all of this information. So remember, if you are a teacher, if you are an instructional coach, if you are a counselor, if you are assistant principal, if you're a principal, it does not matter. Every single role can transition into EdTech. And you only need about 2 years of experience, 2 to 3 years of experience in order to truly transition into this role. So you don't need to get another degree. You don't need to go out there and get another certificate. You can. I did go and get some free certificates that I found just so I can, I'm a nerd like that, the educator in me. I went and like sought the information. But you don't have to. You do not have to go out and seek and get any of these things, right? You have the skill set already from being in the educational space to transition into EdTech. So with that being said, I'm super excited that all y'all showed up. Like I said, I have so many things that's dropping during the week to help y'all, support y'all. It's all about y'all. Like it really, really is. I'm blessed to be on this side and I'm so grateful. But at the same time, I want to make sure I'm sharing all the things that I learned to you all. So anytime you see my live notification go up, make sure you join in because I am definitely going to drop some gems. And I'm going to be very specific and I'm going to answer every single question that I see. Now, once these questions start coming in here pretty fast, I might not see all of them, but any question you leave under a comment, anything like that, I will pretty fast. I might not see all of them, but any question you leave under a comment, anything like that, I will get to it and I will make sure that I answer it. Or if it's a really good question, I'll make a reaction video to it so other people can also get that information. All right. So as stated, I am Derreka the Diva of Education. So many things are coming your way, guys, and I'm so excited to be helping you. And I want to hear, once you make that transition, you better tell me your success stories. Eventually, I'm going to do one-on-one coaching, and I'm only going to take about 3 clients a quarter because it is going to be one-on-one. And I'm not doing it for the money. I really just want to see people get into this space, right? And I want like these educators out here because y'all are so dope. We are so dope. I remember being in the classroom. We make magic happen daily and we do not get enough praise for it. Yeah. So I want to see y'all get in an environment where you don't feel stressed, where you have the freedom of time, you work remote. If you want to go work out at 9 a.m., you can. If you want to attend your baby's recital, you can. If you want to go on vacation with your little boo, your husband, whatever you have, if you want to go with that, you can still do that. Teaching becomes our life and it just kind of like takes over our life at times. And it's important that just because you love to educate people, that does not mean that your life should not be lived to the full capacity. So we have to learn to take the skill sets that we have and be in spaces that are best for us, right? So that's why I'm an advocate of this, and I'm going to come on here every single time and tell y'all to go hard because you can be in this space like it's made for us. All right. So with that being said, if y'all like my little hoodie right here, shout out to the K's. It comes in every organization, so don't y'all start. You can get it exclusively HBCU. Shout out to them. And if you went to an HBCU, shout out to you. With that being said, catch me next time. I'm going to have another topic, and I'm going to be answering questions and dropping gems probably on Wednesday because that's when I have my word of the week. So much love out to all y'all. Hey, Sora. I love when I see my Soras. Hey, y'all. Pretty girls are just different. Make sure you guys continue to share, like, comment, and follow. And I can't wait to see y'all again. Bye, y'all. Have an amazing Sunday.